Suggested for mature audiences. Parental discretion advised.
What's going on, y'all? So glad to be here. It is Monday, January 7th. Man, it's the first week after New Year's, man. You sticking with your resolutions, man? I hope you are. I know I am. At least I'm doing my best. Ain't gonna lie, it might be a little hard at times, but you know what? I can do it. And you know what? So can you. You can too. Well, you can clear my throat, man. I ate a bunch of gummy bears, so I'm a little stuffed. Today I want to talk about spiritual awakening, man. Do you think you're going through spiritual awakening? Did you have a spiritual awakening? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, man. So I'm going to share with you 10 symptoms, man, that lets you know what you're going through during a spiritual awakening. But hey, if you're meeting me here for the first time, let me just introduce myself. I'm Ben Zepplin. I'm a spiritual rebel. I'm a badass mystic and a transformational coach whose sole mission is to empower, inspire, and awaken you to your truest, most badass self. You see, I believe you can live your best life now, and I'm fully committed to helping you embrace it. So if you're tuning in live, if you're watching the replay, I'd love to know where you're watching from. And don't forget to share some love. Hit that like button, hit those love buttons, and tag people who you think would benefit from watching this video, man. I'd be super, super appreciative of that. All right, so let's dive right in. So, spiritual awakenings, man, they can happen at any moment of your life, in any period of your life. They can be spontaneous, but they can also be triggered by like life changes, man. Like if you're going through an illness, you have something tragic happen, or there's some kind of trauma that you experience, man. Those are all ways that can really signify a spiritual awakening. It's kind of like the X-Men, man, like mutants. You know how like they go through puberty whenever they're put under like deep stress situations, then it activates their mutant gene, and then they become like these amazing badasses. That's basically what's happening to you, except instead of becoming a mutant, you're becoming aware of your multidimensional badass self. The real self of you that is boundless beyond this human suit. That's what's going on through your spiritual awakening. But you know what? Spiritual awakenings, man, the symptoms, you know, they're not only emotional, but they're psychological and even physical. So I'm going to go over these 10 symptoms, man. These are like the 10 common symptoms. And let me know which ones you identify with in the comments, man. You can put all, you can put some, you know. I definitely resonate with a lot of these things whenever I had my awakening. And, you know, before I go into these 10 symptoms, man, you know, when I had my awakening, dude, I was so confused. I had no one to talk to, no one who resonated with what was happening with me. I grew up in a very conservative Christian town, and no one got it. They just thought I was crazy. I almost got locked up, man. You know, but then I started reading, I started doing my own research, and then I started understanding what was happening within me, man. And it wasn't for those books, I don't know where I would be today, man. I might not be in a good place. So I had, even if it was books, man, I just found some mentors, man. Wayne Dyer, Neil Donald Walsh, all these people that made a big dent back in the early 2000s with their spiritual materials. So anyways, man, I digress. Let's start going into these 10 symptoms. All right. So the first thing is you feeling as though your life has just changed forever. Like all of a sudden you're just like, my life will never be the same. You can't explain it. You don't know why. Something just shifted within you and you're just like, man, I can't go on living the way that I did. So that's definitely a big one, right? So feeling as though your life has just changed. You're just like, whoa, something just shifted, right? You feel uncertainty and fear. This is a very common one. This is what I definitely went through a lot. You know, I felt so unsure what was happening within me. I thought I was going crazy. And that brought up a lot of fears, man. I thought I had to get locked up. I didn't know what was happening. No one could resonate with it. I felt so alone. So I got a lot of fear. I started developing anxiety because I didn't know how to deal with my spiritual awakening, man. And you know what? For the longest time, I kind of like, you know, stumbled for years, you know, knowing still what happened. But I didn't have a support system, man. I was still kind of getting pulled back into the old ways of doing things because I didn't have any other examples. All right. So that uncertainty and fear, that was a big one. All right. So number 3, you're no longer liking what you once liked to do. Right. So, I used to love just throwing some beers back, man, hanging out, and shooting the shit, and just having fun, doing whatever. But after my awakening, man, it was just like, hey, this is BS. I want to do something that's more meaningful. What can I do to help uplift someone, to help expand my awareness, right? So all these things that I once did, I just didn't resonate with them anymore, man. I was evolving, and everyone else was around me wasn't. And sadly to say, those people are no longer in my life, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. All right. So number 4, extreme desire for solitude. You're going to get into a hermit mode. You're going to want to just shut yourself out from the world, and you're going to go into that solitude, and that's where a lot of the inner wisdom starts coming out, man. You start tapping into something really deep, and you start realizing that you have a wealth of information within you that's going to start pouring out. So that's why that extreme desire for solitude is so important. Okay. Number 5, feeling greater empathy for others. Yeah, and I still work on that as well, man. Empathy is huge. Before I was awakened, I didn't really care about people, man. I was just like, I just want to make sure I'm cool and I'm happy, whatever. But then I started my awakening process, and I started feeling other people's feelings. I had no idea what was happening, man. I remember I was even watching a movie, and I felt what the person, not what the person, but what the actor was going through being in that role. It was weird, man. I was like, what's going on? What are these thoughts? Who's planted these things in my brain? So it was just the level of empathy I was feeling to things I never even thought about in my life. But then this is where it starts getting a little kind of you have to really watch out, because if you open yourself up too much to the empathy, man, that's where you can invite some psychic vampires, and people can latch on to you, and then you start taking on other people's shit, and you don't want that. So you start feeling empathy, but you also, if you're not careful during this time, you got to make sure to develop some discernment and know what's yours and what's theirs, and know where that line is and draw it. Okay. So, all right. So, number 6, you experience more synchronicities. Yep. That's a big one. I did a whole video on this, man. Synchronicities, breadcrumbs. If you haven't seen that, you should watch it. It's really good. So you start noticing things, man. It's like the universe is conspiring to work with you. It's like giving you little nudges, like, hey, go that direction. Go to that direction. Oh, look, there's a piece of chocolate on the ground. Why don't you pick it up? And that'll take you to a whole new life situation. It's like just these little things, man, just start unfolding. And you have no idea where it's going to take it. Or take you. You just got to take the path, right? So when you start going through that awakening processes, you're going to start noticing these things, and it's almost going to feel like a joke to you. You're going to be like, wait, is this, am I on the Truman Show or something? What's going on here? All right. So number 7. All right, let's keep going. Becoming more sensitive. You're going to be really sensitive. You're going to be emotional. You're going to be feeling a lot more, because you spend most of your life shut down, living with walls, living in your barrier, and now your awakening has allowed you to allow this vibration to flow through you. And not only are you going to be feeling things that are happening now, but you're going to be feeling things that happened in the past, man. And you're going to be building whole new relationships with stuff that happened to you, man. People that may have burned you 10 years ago, man, you might do a healing and heal a big aspect of your life, man, because you're allowing yourself to actually finally feel things through, man. So being more sensitive, allowing that to flow through, and yeah, that can be overwhelming, man. And I think that goes more with the first couple, man. Uncertainty and fear, that anxiety, and sometimes when you're opening yourself up and you're being more sensitive, it does come off as anxiety. But what's happening though, it's your vibrations are trying to go through your body, but your body's vibrating at one level, your higher spiritual vibrations at another level, and they're trying to sync up, but it ain't working yet. So then when they're not working yet, that's what creates anxiety, and that's what just creates panic attacks, and you're like, it's because things aren't fully aligned yet. But the more that you practice, the more that you meditate, the more that you go within, find a mentor, find someone that can help you, then the process is going to be a lot easier, and it's going to be flowing. You're going to be like, ooh, yeah, just like that. So that's what you got to do. I know that's ridiculous, but it's true. It's true. All right. So number 8, going through bouts of anxiety and depression. I think I just covered that, so you get that. Number 9, you're asking questions such as, why am I here? What is my life purpose? Where are we going? When those questions start coming up, man, it's because you're thinking outside of yourself, because you're developing a broader relationship and about yourself and your place in the universe, man. So you're going to start asking a lot deeper questions, and that's a big sign of your spiritual awakening. And last but not least, man, number 10, thirst for truth and spiritual fulfillment. You might feel the need to start researching, looking into fractals, mandalas, inner dimensions, angels, ascended masters, law of attraction, meditation, all of this stuff, man. You're just going to be like this sponge. That's the best way to describe it, man. You're just going to be in this information gathering, absorption, and you're just going to want to seek all levels of truth. You might even start researching old religions and creating your own things. You might be bridging gaps between science and religion, from your old religion to your new spiritual awareness. It's just that truth and that spiritual fulfillment. You're going to be so thirsty for it, and you're just going to keep going, and you're going to keep getting as much information as you can, man. So those are the 10, man. So spiritual awakenings, like I said, man, they mark the beginnings of your path. So spiritual awakenings can be shocking. They can be painful, extremely unsettling periods of our lives, unfortunately. It's a very fragile moment. It's important to surround yourself with those who understand what you're going through. So important. And there's a lot of people who aren't. There's a lot of artists who are tortured, and they aren't around the most supportive people, and they suffer. Not even artists, man, just regular people, man. I was one of them. So I would suggest you find a group, you find friends, you find a mentor, people who are there to help guide you throughout your process, man. Because that support is gonna make a world of difference. So remember, there is help out there. All you have to do is just ask for it. And once you ask, you'll receive it, man. All right. So did you experience something during your spiritual awakening? Are you experiencing any of these attributes and these symptoms right now? Share with me in the comments, man. Just leave a comment. Let me know which one of these you resonate with, or all of them. And thanks again for watching. Make sure to share this video with all your friends. And if you know anyone who would benefit from watching this episode, be sure to tag them in the comments. And before I go, let me just look at the comments here, because I love engaging with you all. All right, Jackie. What's up, Jackie? Good to see you. Michelle, hello. All right. Yeah, it's so good seeing you all. Nicole, what's up, Nicole? Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. I try to be a real person. I try to be as real as I can, man. I feel like I've been so surrounded by BS and such living a fake life for a long time that I try to eradicate all fakeness from my body, from my DNA, man. And I think this medium and this platform, I think that people can really pick up on bullshit here. So it's a great way for me to showcase myself and share my beliefs and my ideas, because I'm just being true. I'm just being real. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm not trying to tell you to do anything. I'm just sharing information. And if you resonate with that information, and if it helps you, then I've done my job. That's all that matters, right? So I try to be real. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you feel like you're wanting to awaken your inner badass, man, dude, schedule a call with me. I promise. I had a call today. It went so well. I had a lot of fun. So schedule a call with me in my calendar. I got some slots open this week. I got a few on my calendar, but they still have a couple more. that I can do. So schedule a call with me. It's what we're going to do is we're going to get super clear on your personal goals. We're going to discuss action plan, a way to help you achieve them, man. That's it. It's that simple. We're going to have a good time doing it. So like I said, man, I believe you can live the best life now. I'm fully committed to helping you embrace it. You just need to take action. So I'm going to put a link in the comments. Schedule a call with me. Let's do this. And just pick a date and time that works for you, and then I'll give you a call. Simple as that. So thanks again for watching. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.